So I'm in Milton Keynes and I am here to see Aladdin. So I left work at 3 o'clock yesterday, got straight on a train, got stuck in Birmingham for an hour with delays, got here like half an hour before the show started, have to get a cab right up to the theatre, got into my seat with about 10 minutes to spare, so only just made it. So I've not actually done a lot of filming yet, but I'm going back Sunday, so I will try and get some shots of the theatre and things. Again, I'll get my programme back out. Aladdin, and it's starring Joe Pasquale and Mead. I might have followed Joe Pasquale for a while accidentally. The reason I've come to see this more than anything is that it's currently starring Sarah Earnshaw. There we go. I first saw her 6 years ago in pantomime in Sheffield, and I've been following her since. So I'd not really been to pantomime before. H from Steps was in it, and I was a big Steps fan back in the day, and I thought, I've got to go see this, I want to go meet H from Steps, it's the dream. So I went to see Jack and the Beanstalk at Sheffield Lyceum, and I went on my own, and it was actually really good. Like to say, I'd never really done a panto. I enjoyed it so much that I went back about 9 times in the end, I think. But all the cast were amazing. There's Damien Williams, who's been in Sheffield at least 10 years now. I don't think he's ever gonna leave, but he is like one of the best dames in the business, and I'm not even biased, he's just so good. Obviously H from Steps, there's Madeline Leslie, who's been in Mamma Mia since, I think, and obviously Sarah Earnshaw, who had been in Wicked. She was Stand By Glinda, but she was playing the vegetable fairy of all things. And you know when you just see someone and you're like, yep, they've got talent, that's someone I want to see. It was like that. So I was a little bit scared to go talk to her, but I finally did after a couple of shows, and she's so sweet. And I think I just rambled on about wanting to see her in Wicked, and that I never had, and how much I loved her basically. And I've kind of been following her since. So it's been, actually yesterday was our 6-year anniversary of me first speaking to her, so it's been quite a while. So there's been a lot of panto, there's been nativity, there's been Some Mothers Do Have Them, there was a play I went to see in Bath, Spamalot on tour I saw so many times. And during this journey, it has meant I have seen Joe Pasquale quite a lot. We started with the Spamalot tour, he was playing King Arthur, and I did meet him one of the nights at Stage Door then, and he is such a genuinely lovely guy, I'm not gonna lie. And obviously after that they went into pantomime in Southampton together, into Aladdin, and I saw him again there. Then there was a Some Mothers Do Have Them tour, which starred Joe Pasquale, and I saw him again there. That's touring again next year, so I'll be going to that again. And obviously now there's Aladdin in Milton Keynes with Joe Pasquale. So I feel like at the minute I can't escape him, but it's not necessarily a bad thing. It's weird, but he is an entertainer and he does still make me laugh every time. I don't know how he does it, and he's just genuinely, as I said, the nicest guy. Last time I saw him at Some Mothers, he came out of Stage Door, even though he had guests, and made sure he spoke to anyone who wanted a picture. He even came up to me and asked me if I wanted a picture. I'm like, well, I'm not waiting for you, but okay, you'll do. And then he went in to tell Sarah I was waiting for her, so genuinely lovely guy, can't say a bad word against him, and I'm not too mad that I've ended up following him somehow. Anyway, back to last night's show, which I got there with like 10 minutes to spare, so I'm not sure I can tell you too much about the theatre at the minute. It was very busy, full of like girl guides, that kind of thing. You kind of expect that at a panto, but still, just walking in and seeing masses of children is a little bit terrifying. They've got a lot of merchandise on sale. I was so close to buying flashing wands and swords and tiaras, but I thought maybe that's going to be a bit distracting and probably best left to the children. I did have a Christmas headband on anyway, so not completely out of it. The theatre itself is kind of small. I was expecting it to be much bigger kind of going back. I don't know why. Although it's very high. There's a lot of levels and like little boxes, and even the stalls is like split into different levels. It's quite weird. Hopefully I can insert some videos here. I don't know if I'll get told off. They had a lot of signs saying no cameras, so for a first vlog this is probably not the best place to do it. The stage was huge. I was sat in a restricted view seat, but honestly it did not restrict anything at all, and if anything it was perfect for me. It was on Sarah's side, although not so perfect in that it was a side that got wet quite a lot. So a lot of water pistols and a bucket of water, and I was scared my hair was going to start leaking down my face. Pink streaks, not a good look, but it's fine. The show itself, I know I'm a little bit biased, but I did really enjoy it. It was weird for me in that it's basically the same show that they did in Southampton when I went to see it 4 years ago, but there's obviously a few updated jokes in it. There's different songs. It's no longer Duncan from Blue, we've got Lee Mead as Aladdin. And back in Southampton they had a little 3D section, if anyone remembers when 3D was kind of like all the rage in pantomimes, and it was just everyone getting confused what to do with glasses and probably them getting stolen, and it kind of seems to have gone away a little bit. I think it was just, oh, we've got this technology now, we're going to use it. But instead of that, we had this massive snake. Abenaza turned into a huge snake and Jasmine fought him, and I think that was way better than 3D ever was. But that's just my opinion, I guess. But no, I did really enjoy it. There's a lot of sort of original songs, I think, because I don't know them. I know I'm getting a bit old now. But it seems like they're original songs. And it was just weird that I kind of knew them. So I had a little bit of a nightmare trying to find the stage door. Obviously, I like to scope out where the stage door is before a show usually. Didn't have time before, so it meant as soon as the show had finished I had to run round the block trying to find where I was going. And it's sort of in the middle of this little entertainment thing, so there's a lot of restaurants and stuff in the way, and you can't go down certain streets, they're blocked off. So it was a bit of a jog around the theatre, which is not good for me, and I went the longest way possible, but we got there in the end. It's quite open, there's a lot of space there, so it's quite useful. But got there, got to see Sarah as always, who stayed and talked for ages about absolutely anything, about the show, about Joe, about Strictly. Always really lovely to see her. As I mentioned earlier, it's actually our 6-year anniversary, so I had to get a little selfie to celebrate. But it's just mad when you think it's been 6 years. That's a long time to have someone in your life, and especially in this kind of way. So today I'm off into London, since it's not too far away. It's opening night of Magic Goes Wrong. We've been following Mischief Theatre for a while. Obviously he started with The Play That Goes Wrong, then he goes into Peter Pan Goes Wrong, a comedy about a bank robbery. Recently we've had Grown Ups, that was a limited run, I think it should be announced that's going on tour. And now we've got Magic Goes Wrong. I had a brief little period in Manchester and I really wanted to go see it, but we booked for this, so I was like, I'll wait, I'll not ruin the surprise. So I'm kind of excited to go see that, but also a little bit terrified. Anyone who knows Mischief Theatre knows that with the Goes Wrong series, it starts the minute you enter that theatre. It's not just you wait for the curtain to go up. Before that they'll be out messing about with the audience. One of my favourites was they returned to The Play That Goes Wrong for a week before it went to Broadway. We went to see it, and I was sat a couple of rows behind Claudia Winkleman, who they noticed and literally would not leave her alone for like the full half an hour before the show started. So that was quite funny. I love seeing them run around the auditorium and mess about with things. My first go at seeing them was Peter Pan Goes Wrong, and we were sat front and centre. So we sat there, we're passing wires above our heads, we got asked to rip tissue paper into snow. It was just absolute carnage. but I loved it so much. And anyone who's gone to see the play that goes wrong as well will see they're trying to set up the stage and they actually invite someone onto stage to hold up a shelf. Obviously if you don't want to be on stage, maybe you don't sit on an end or near the front. I don't think that would be for me, but it's quite funny to watch. I'm a big fan of magic as well. I love theatre, I love magic, I love mischief theatre, so I'm hoping this is going to go well. And I'm half expecting to come back and do my review of it with tears down my face. I usually end up crying at their stuff, so it should be good. So this morning we had an empty spot to fill and we could have gone to do tourist stuff, but I feel like I've done a lot of that in London at this point. So why not just go see another show, right? So today Ticks have the rush system, which I like to try and abuse as much as I can when I'm in London. And we thought we'd go for 6. That is one of my favourite shows at the minute. But obviously that rush is very difficult, I'm sure a lot of you know. So didn't get that. Managed to find some £30 seats to go see and Juliet, which I've been wanting to see for a long time and I haven't seen yet. Last time I was in the theatre cafe, they had the soundtrack on. It sounded amazing, so I can't wait to go see that today. A bit of a rubbish seat, but it'd be fine for £30, absolute bargain. So we'll see what that's like. So it's about 11:30. I'm about to head out into London. This is actually amazing for me. If I'm going to London from home, I usually have to get up at least 5 o'clock in the morning, which is ridiculous. So I feel like I've had a bit of a nice lie-in. I'm not sure if this coat is too much. Everyone at work says it reminds them of a Disney villain. I mean, I guess I'm getting like Cruella de Vil vibes, but I don't know, it's really soft and everyone keeps stroking it all the time and it's really cozy. So I will see you later, London. So more delays this morning, but thankfully nowhere near as bad as yesterday. So good morning. I was going to film this last night, but with train delays I didn't actually get back to my hotel till almost 1 o'clock in the morning. Wanted to pass out, but then it was so loud outside that I actually didn't sleep till about 3 o'clock anyway, and then woke up at 8 o'clock this morning. So it's another morning of being very tired, but here we are. Gonna do a quick review, if we can call it that, and then I'm off to Aladdin again because I never stop. So yesterday went down into London to see Aunt Juliet, which we'd actually booked tickets for on the day last minute and got some really good seats. And then Magic Goes Wrong 2, which we had booked since March apparently. I didn't even realise it had been that long. I'd been waiting to see it, but worth the wait. So first was Aunt Juliet, and this one I've been wanting to see for quite a long time. I've seen so many pictures of the set list, if that's what you want to call it, or the song list. And if you like 90s and early noughties pop, this is definitely for you. There's Backstreet Boys, there's Katy Perry, there's Britney Spears. I loved it. I have a bit of a thing with jukebox musicals. I usually find them a bit hit or miss. There's some that I've just really not got on with in the past. There's some that I've actually quite liked. So I was always going to be a bit wary of this one. And some of the songs, okay, yeah, they're not the best fit, but a lot of them do fit in quite well, and I did really enjoy it. Is it a story that shocked me, wowed me? No. Is it a lot of fun? Yes. Are the cast amazing? Yes. Some of that choreography is so good. There's one scene, I'm not going to do any spoilers, but there's a party and I was just like, wow. I got quite a few understudies on, which, okay, understudies is quite a big topic. I quite like seeing a different take on roles, but I can also understand when you go and see someone specific, you want to see that person. We got Grace as Juliet, who was the understudy at 6, and I've seen her in that so many times. I love her anyway, so I was really excited to see her as Juliet. We sat up in row J in the Royal Circle, and it wasn't a bad view. We were fairly central at least. We didn't miss anything. It seemed quite far away, but this is the kind of show where I'm not sure I wanted to be right at the front. There's a lot going on, around the stage, so I'm kind of glad I got an overall view of it rather than just like a little zoned in view. I think the main problem I personally had is there was a lot of people in front filming everything. The ushers had to tell people off so many times, like, no, this isn't a concert, this is a show, can you please just not record that? There was a girl a couple of rows in front and she just kept holding up her phone really high, blocking everyone's view, and it took until about halfway through Act 1 for her to be stopped, which was quite mad. But at least she was stopped in the end and then behaved for Act 2. I went with my friend and the person next to her was singing all the way throughout as well, which, okay, I get you're there to have a good time, but I've paid to hear these people sing, please don't sing along. Maybe in the bows, yes, feel free, but please don't sing along at shows unless you're told to do so. Overall, I really enjoyed it and I think I want to go back. I want to see Grace as Juliet again, but also I want to go see Miriam, so I think it's one I'm going to visit a few times if I can. For someone who likes theatre, I've never actually been to the Shaftesbury Theatre before. Is that bad? So it was my first visit. I've been past it before, but my first time actually going in. It was so cramped in the foyer. We could barely get to the box office to pick up tickets, and then we wanted to go get a programme. I'd only got my card, I'd not got any money out, so I had to go to the actual merchandise boutique. And we couldn't even get in the queue to go get a programme. It was just so busy. So if this is a theatre you're going to go to, please get there early and then get out of the way. As I said, we were up in the circle and it was a pretty good view. I'm happy with it, especially for £30. I really can't complain. The seats are a little bit small, there's not a lot of leg room. Like, I had a dent in my knee from where the seat in front was in it, but I mean, if you're going to pay £30, you're going to expect stuff like that. And for the view, it was worth it. I would sit there again, just maybe a little bit uncomfortable if you're tall. I'm not sure how tall I am actually, I think about 5'6" maybe. And yeah, I struggled a little bit, so I'm not the tallest, so anyone taller than me might have issues. Also, the steps down to the circle were quite steep. I was having to like cling onto the railing. I was scared of falling down them, but again, probably mainly fine. Just anyone with issues, be careful. So after that, it was Magic Goes Wrong, which we had booked for a very long time. We were up in the Grand Circle on row B. Thankfully, people in front weren't too tall. If they were, that could have been an issue, but it was quite a good view, although very far back. I've been to the vaudeville a few times in the past and I've only ever been stalled before, so that was quite an experience being up so high. With Mischief Theatre, I think I said before, you get a bit of a pre-show, so I don't want to do too many spoilers about this, but if you're going to see any Mischief Theatre show, especially the Goes Wrong series, you want to be in your seats a good half hour before it starts. With being up in the circle, we didn't know what we were going to get. We didn't know if it was going to be stalls only, but we did get a couple of cast members up and interacting. I'm going to say spoilers, I guess, but I had people climbing over my seat. There was someone else with a net trying to catch doves and actually caught another woman in his net, which was quite fun. But yeah, I kind of feel like I missed out a lot of what was going on in the stalls. Like, 'cause we were the second row, we couldn't peek over the side and you could hear so much noise downstairs in the stalls, and a lot of the other cast members talking to audience members. They were filming audience members, so I really want to go back again anyway, but if I do, I think I want to be stalled just to get like a more full experience of what was going on. But at this point I'm going to be sat everywhere on every level because I don't want to miss anything. This is a tricky one because I don't want to say too much and ruin the magic of it. So if you know the Mischief Theatre cast, you know what they can do. They are so good. They make everything seem spontaneous, even though it's probably all scripted. And as much as I want to go back, I'm kind of scared to, because I don't want to see which things are scripted that I thought might not have been. This is also a weird one for me because I usually just see musicals, so it did have one song in it, yes, but not a musical at all. I'd say a play, I'm not even sure it's a play, it's just a piece of theatre that you really do need to see. As someone who loves both theatre and magic and mischief theatre, it was one I was always going to see, and I'm so glad I did. The show is currently playing until the 31st of May at the Vaudeville Theatre. I know Mischief have a residency there at the minute, so they've just done Grown Ups, they've gone straight into Magic Goes Wrong, and then they've got a third show that I think is yet to be announced. Obviously I'm going to go see that one as well. But for now, Magic Goes Wrong is there for quite a while. They've got some good ticket deals on. We were looking last night because we wanted to go back again, and it looks like they've got a lot of Souls tickets down to about £35, which is a bargain for that kind of show. So I definitely recommend going to see that if you can. And also, if you can't sit in the stalls, or if you're a bit scared of being that close to magic and being picked on, maybe go a bit further up. If you're in the front few rows, you might get picked on or something. I'm not sure how much of it is fake, how much is real. I like to think it's all real, but I'm not naive enough to think it is. And there's even a trick in the second act where they get people out of the audience onto stage, and I'm sure they're genuine volunteers, so that's 2 people from down the front. In our case, I think everyone was too scared to volunteer. They got 1 volunteer and then really had to search for the second. I think everyone was too scared to go up because of what had been happening in the first act. It is currently 11:30. I have to check out my hotel in half an hour. I'm one of those people who has to try and make the most of it when I'm here. Like, if you're going to let me stay till 12 o'clock and I've got nowhere else to be, I will stay here till 12 o'clock and just chill out. So my show starts at 2 o'clock and it's not raining at the minute, so I might have a little walk through Milton Keynes, do a bit of filming, see what the city's like. I've only seen it at night and it was a little bit scary, so maybe do a bit of daytime filming. The thing that struck me when I was walking back is they have this big shopping centre, and it's supposed to be like a big indoor shopping centre, but it's like outdoors too. There's no outer walls, but there's a roof. It is bizarre. Hopefully I can film some of it and put it in here, but I just thought it was really weird. I don't know why. I've been a lot of places, a lot of cities, travelled around England a lot, and I don't know, this just surprised me. It was quite weird. Another thing I've noticed about Milton Keynes is it's quite American in that it's kind of in blocks. I know that kind of the history of the town is that it was built later than a lot of others, so it was kind of a lot more planned and it wasn't like the Roman weaving roads and things. But yeah, it's all like in blocks, quite American, quite, you can only go straight or 90-degree angles. And it's all roads and roundabouts, which is bizarre. As someone who doesn't drive and I have to walk to the theatre, it's quite difficult. There's so many underpasses and they're quite terrifying. At night, on your own and as a woman, not the most fun. Would not recommend that again. Even after my show today, I think I'm going to get a taxi back to the station because didn't like it. Especially some of the underpasses as well, they have tents and homeless people and a lot of shadowy figures wandering about, and it scared me quite a bit. I wanted to do more filming on my walk home, but I was not getting out my new camera. But yeah, hopefully I can have a nice slow walk up today, do a bit of filming and not be as terrified, but we'll see how that goes. I might not have any more footage to put in this, but we'll see. Also kind of sad today, I can only do the matinee. I love doing the evening shows when I'm seeing someone I know and I want to go speak to. So I'm kind of sad that I probably won't be stage dooring. I mean, I got to speak to Sarah on Friday night anyway, so it's not the end of the world. I just love having a good chat for some reason. But I don't like... Okay, so I don't like seeing actors before shows because obviously they've got to go in, get ready, they've got their calls. So if you're really desperate, okay, say hi before a show if you kind of know them, but I don't like doing it as a rule just because they're busy, they have a job to do. And also if they're doing double shows, especially pantomimes and on weekends, I don't like trying between shows because a lot of time they're busy, they've got hair and makeup they can't get out of, and they just want to stay in the theatre, relax, chill out, eat, and then do their second show. I know there's a few actors too that actually have a nap in between shows. I guess depending on the role, it's probably super tiring and they deserve that break. But then people get mad that they don't come out to sign, like, yeah, but they've got a job. So yeah, after this show, as much as I do want to stay and say hi, I think I'm just going to wander back down to the station and go home. I have work tomorrow. I need to be in Sheffield by 9 o'clock. So I'll travel home tonight, hopefully get a bit of sleep, and then work in the morning. Back to my normal life. In quickly, it's taken me 4.5 hours to get home. I mean, that's not really unusual for these kind of trips, but it just felt like forever. It's almost 10 o'clock. I have work tomorrow. I am so tired, so I'm gonna eat, go to bed, and that is me done for the weekend, and then back to my normal life. So good night.